Let's back up our entire computer to an external hard drive to be able to restore Windows, all apps and settings, as well as folders and files in case of an emergency. As a backup drive, I will use this 4 TB Seagate HDD. First, it will be able to store multiple backups of my 120 GB system drive and 500 GB secondary data drive. Second, I plan to keep my backup drive on my desk, so its size and weight do not matter to me. Third, an HDD is slower than an SSD, but it's cheaper per 1 TB of storage space, and I'm totally okay with that. If you need a lightweight and compact backup drive to keep in your travel bag, and you are ready to pay extra for data transfer speed, choose an SSD instead. Now let's check if our drive is ready for a backup. I want my backup files to also be available on Linux and Mac computers, so I've formatted my drive to exFAT. If you're planning to use your backups on Windows only, go for NTFS. Finally, let's check if my backup drive has enough free space to store the full backups of my system and secondary drives. Both drives total 620 GB combined, and my backup drive has 4 TB of free space, so that will work. For a full drive backup, I will be using a free professional tool called MultiDrive. It has several benefits. It backs up the entire drive, not just selected files. It uses open formats such as zip, ZOST, or RAW, meaning I can use other tools to restore these backups. No vendor lock-in. It can back up drives with bad sectors, which can be common in old devices. I can pause and resume a backup process at any time, and it resumes perfectly even after a cable disconnection or a power outage. Despite it being a full drive backup, I can still pull out an individual file from a backup in the RAW format using 7-zip. And finally, it is completely free, with no registration or annoying ads. When Windows is running, it constantly writes something to my system drive, like temporary files, memory files, updates, logs, and more. And it could potentially mess up the backup process, making the resulting file corrupt or unreadable. So it's better to run a backup of a system drive when Windows is completely stopped. The solution is WinPE, which stands for Windows Pre-Installation Environment. It is a lightweight version of Windows designed to boot and run entirely from a USB flash drive. And MultiDrive has its own bootable WinPE version with MultiDrive pre-installed. Let's download it and create a bootable USB drive. Obviously, I need a blank USB flash drive for this, and I happen to have one. I go to the multidrive.io and click download. Here we need a regular installer and a WinPE zip version. Let's download both. Now I'll install MultiDrive in order to create a bootable USB drive with WinPE. Once MultiDrive is installed, open it and go to Restore. As a source, select the zip file with MultiDrive WinPE. As the target, select the USB flash drive. It must be blank or backed up because all data on it will be replaced. Double check and then click Restore. And that's it. Now we have a bootable USB drive. Now I will restart my PC and enter the BIOS boot menu. Here we select your USB flash drive to boot in WinPE. MultiDrive starts automatically. Here are my system drive and my secondary data drive. I can back them both up right from WinPE. Let's plug the backup drive in. Here it is. Now let's back up the system drive first. Windows is not running now, so we are good to go. Go to Backup, select the system drive as the source on the left, and our backup drive on the right as the target. I will name the file System Drive Backup with the current date. Now the format selection, RAW is an uncompressed bit-by-bit copy. That's the one which allows you to pull out an individual file using 7-zip. Zip is a widespread compressed format. ZST is also compressed, but is faster and more efficient than zip. All is set, and I can start the backup by pressing this button. A beautiful graph with the reading speed of my system drive and the writing speed of my backup drive. Here at the bottom, MultiDrive shows a time estimate for backup to complete. I don't want you to wait, so let's jump forward in time. Once the backup's complete, you'll see a success tag. In the same manner, I can back up my secondary data drive. As it is another physical drive, its backup will sit as a separate file on my backup drive. Windows is not running from my secondary drive, so I can back it up either from WinPE or from regular Windows by running MultiDrive. Finally, let me show you how to restore data from the backup. To restore a system drive, we need to boot from our WinPE USB flash drive. In the case of a secondary data drive, we can restore it right from Windows using MultiDrive. Go to Restore, select the backup file as a source, the physical secondary drive as a target, double-check, and then click Restore. In WinPE, the process looks exactly the same. Restore the backup file as a source, your drive as a target, and then the Restore button. And that's it. Now you know how to back up and how to restore both your system and secondary data drive. If this video helped you, hit the like button and subscribe for more. And if you still have any questions about backing up your system, comment down below.